there, and then we can watch these events. How this program is going to work, and I'm going to go over an overview, but more importantly, I just want to welcome everyone here to the 2021 GDX program. You all look fantastic as I see you on your screens, all dressed up. You know, this pandemic has really put a damper in being able to deliver these programs, because we really enjoy spending time with you, watching you go through your journey of learning, and watching you reflect and grow and transform along the way. And in those downtimes, really building those bonds and those relationships. So as we kind of move through 2021 summer, expect that we're going to get back to normal and get back to our in-person programming. So it's important that you spend the next couple of days really honing in on your own personal leadership development, because we're going to need you to really cultivate and grow the communities in which you live. I just want to welcome everybody once again. And before I begin, I think it's important that I know who here is represented on here. So get used to using that chat down there. And if I'm going to do a little bit of a roll call, and if you are in this respective region here, then I really want you to type it in there. So if you are from the East Coast, let me see some of that chat section right there, because this is a competition, a healthy competition. I don't even see if there's any representation in the East Coast here, because I don't see anybody in that chat section putting anything in there. Next, oh, there they are. I've got it on a different screen. So that is my fault. There we go. So excellent. We have a special guest too that is going to be joining the East Coast team, Adriano Rodriguez. If my production person can just spotlight Adriano, if you are on there. Adriano, we appreciate you joining us and being part of this program here and working and be part of that team of the East Coast. Thank you so much. If you are from Houston, let me see you put in that chat section. Go Houston. Where's the 713, the 281, the 832? I think there's a new area code in Houston. I'm not too sure which one it is, but H-Town, it's great to see you on here. My family roots are over there. And if you see me walking around Houston and I don't know who you are, that's my twin brother who's representing the Nieto family there in Houston. If you are from the great metropolitan city of Mathis, where are you, Mathis? Let me see you in oh, there we go, Mathis. What a beautiful community out there outside of Corpus Christi. They are the dark horse. Watch out for Mathis. Great to see you all. And then finally, tip of Texas. Let me see if you are from the tip of Texas. Go ahead and put in that chat right there. If you are, so these are the regions that are representing this particular GDX program. We've got the East Coast, we've got Houston, we've got Mathis, we've got tip of Texas. There we go. Finally, I see tip as they're trying to figure out where that keyboard is and how to type in there. So know that this is a friendly competition, and we should approach it that every opportunity is a learning moment. And every time you go up and compete, not only are you competing against someone from another region, that is also your NHI family. So take full advantage of this time to befriend these individuals, even if they're not from your home region, and get to know them, because we are all one family. And like any GDX program, I've got to ask the question. So we've got all these regions competing. Everybody's been working beforehand. Day one has finally arrived. Which team will be crowned champions of the 2021 GDX2 program? Let me see you put in that chat section. Which team? Will it be the East Coast? Will it be Mathis? Will it be Houston? Whether it be tip of Texas? That is what is up in the air, and we shall find out. So how is this program going to work, students? Every competition that you go through, you will contribute points for your region. So you're going to compete 4 times, and then we're going to move into the second part of that program in elimination rounds. And those elimination rounds, every opportunity gets you closer that road to be in the finals, which will be streamed live for everybody to watch. And you're contributing points. You'll have the opportunity to compete in another event called Athenium, and your contributions there in Athenium give you points for your team. And in the past, we've had regions that bump them from third place to second place because of the Athenium efforts down there. So I'm going to ask my production person if we can break up the rooms before we begin. I think it's important that you get to know Elizabeth. I like your style. You're drinking that coffee over there. I really appreciate that. I've got mine right here. So that's how we're going to get through today. But I'm going to ask my production person to put us into breakout rooms. And we're going to be about 5 or 6 students in a breakout room. Get to know them. Where are you from? What event you are, and what is something that you're looking forward to experiencing over the next couple of days. Take this opportunity to befriend these individuals here. This is your NHI community. This is your NHI family, and let's continue to be a community and family. But when it's time to compete, let's compete hard and learn. And when the competition is over, we go back to being friends and family. So my production person, if you could break up the rooms, and then you're going to see the option to go into a room. I'll give you that for a couple of minutes. We'll come back and we're going to do 2 rounds. I'll see you all in just a bit. So it looks like we still have a few more students. Just click on that link to join the breakout room. Mariana, Aiden, Maxwell. I see a few people to go ahead and click that link to go to those Zoom rooms.
I'm judging. Do I have to go to
Oh,
this?
yeah, go ahead in there. It's an opportunity. Anybody, if you're judging, if you're part of the program, just go in there and meet some of the other students. It looks like we just have about 15 seconds left. We're going to do this one more time. Again, it's important to us that you get to recognize who out there is part of your NHI family. And I just want to draw attention once again to the power of technology. And you know what? I mean, as much as we would love to do this in person, we've got East Coast students competing with Texas students. And historically with NHI, we may not have had these opportunities. And here we are today. This summer, we're going to serve students from Panama, from Mexico, from the East Coast in California, Colorado, Texas. We've got kids from Idaho. We've got students all over the country participating. And whether they're in person or virtual, this is the NHI community. So I'm going to ask my production person to recreate these rooms. We're going to do this one more time, and then we're going to come back and officially begin everything. So go ahead and join your room, give you a couple of minutes, and then we'll be back here in just a bit. Yes, thank you so much. Well, now you have the opportunity to meet, maybe there's some of your teammates, maybe there's some of the judges, the tournament staff, your competitors, your family, your community. And I just want to welcome everybody. And if you're not excited, I think it's time to get excited because we're about to kick off the GDX2 program, and it's going to be a mile a minute, and you are going to get a crash course in technology. And by the end of this, in day 3, you'll be digital experts, you'll be effective communicators in this virtual digital world. And so I'm excited to watch you compete. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to recognize a few individuals, and I'm going to ask my production person to spotlight some of these students, some of these volunteers, because I want you to know that there are a whole bunch of people behind the scenes that are focused on contributing to making this program happen for you, that you have the best program experience that you can. So I wanted to recognize some of these individuals. First, I just want to, and I'm not going to highlight them, but your head coaches, if you could put in that little reaction, just a little bit of applause for all the volunteers at the local level that showed up at every meeting and trained and spent time and invested in you. Is our part of NHI is that we believe in investing in our future. And as part of something that we approach is that my investment into you, I also benefit because we create a more thriving community. So volunteers, head coaches, thank you so much for that. But Veronica Martinez, who is on our production team, is originally from San Diego, recently graduated from Pitzer there in California, and recently awarded the Fulbright Scholar, will be headed to Spain in August or September. We're sad to see her leave, but very excited. So maybe we have someone to go visit in Spain next year. The next individual I want to recognize, and again, if you all can turn on your cameras, is our Assistant Director of Judges, Guadalupe Torres. Guadalupe, if you are on, thank you. You are Assistant Director of Judges. Our Director of Judges, Fatima Ortega Barba. And these individuals are in the tournament room who are assigning out the judges to ensure that we've got a fair judging program for you. Our Assistant Tournament Director, Karina Martinez. So Karina, thank you so very much for your contributions here. And then finally, our Tournament Director, none other than the man, the legend, the myth, Mr. Jareth Quintoro Patalski. Thank you, Jareth, for serving as our tournament director. And again, I just want to publicly thank you for your support as we concluded our GDX1 program. It's so great to have such talent in our office and our volunteers. Next up, I just wanted to have all the students, again, just the power of this particular program is that we've got representation as volunteers, as fellows, as judges from different parts of the country, and students. Your participation is only the first part of the GDX or Great Debate program experience. We want you to stay involved at the local level. We want you to come back year after year and play an important part in shaping the leadership in your community. And that requires for you to go out and identify new leaders, train at the local level, serve as a mentor, as a coach, as a facilitator, but then join us at our summer programs as staff. And these staff serve either in tournament roles, in logistics or operation roles, as judges. And so we've got representation all to serve you from East Coast, from Houston, from Corpus Christi, from Austin, tip of Texas, the Midwest area region, Mathis, and I'm sure that we'll have plenty more, all serving you. So I just want to recognize that all those individuals that are serving in a volunteer role this next 3 days, thank you so much. I want to thank our head coaches once again for the commitment you give to your local regions. And finally, I think it's important for us to recognize these key individuals, because NHI would be difficult to function without these important roles at the community level called our project administrators. So if you are on, I'd like for them to be highlighted. From the East Coast, Steven Hernandez, as we so affectionately call him, Hernandez. So Steven Hernandez as our project administrator.
for the East Coast. Our next project administrators, co-project administrators from Houston, Paula Hernandez and Sonia Lopez. So thank you, Paula and Sonia, in Houston for your contributions. And I remember Sonia not only as a participant, and then picking her up on the way up to the Texas Great Debate. And we knew each other, well, we didn't know each other that well. And she served as a tournament director, and we became friends for life. So that tournament role is where you form those strong bonds. So students, stay involved and strive to be in one of those roles there. Next up, our project administrator for Julio, for Mathis, and he was kind of serving in that capacity, Julio Cotto. So thank you, Julio, and Maggie Olmos. Thank you, Maggie Olmos, for your contributions as a project administrator and working with the group. And Maggie is all the way up in the Chicago area. She drove down, she flew down to spend time with the students. So Maggie, thank you so much, and staying in communication, and all the volunteer team out there. And the project administrator for, and then Alexis Banda, as well as the co-project administrators. So thank you so much, Maggie and Alexis, for your contributions and working with the students out there in Mathis. And then our project administrator for the tip of Texas region, Jorge Lee. Thank you, Jorge, for the work that you do, the grind, because not only do you serve as that support, that rock there at tip of Texas area, you've organized 2 teams this year, but then you'll also be serving in other volunteer roles at the LDZ program. So Jorge, thank you so very much. Students, there's every opportunity for you to grow into those roles here with NHI. So we want you to stay involved. Before we officially begin, and I'm going to introduce the tournament director here shortly, because the tournament director, I want you to see who the staff behind the scenes that is organizing this. And then we're going to take just about a 5-minute break. And then I'm going to provide you all an orientation about how this program is going to unfold. But I wanted to just share a quick story, and I had the opportunity to share with the last group because, in our work, since 1979, and July 20th, we'll celebrate 43 years. And you all are part of an organization that has been able to stand the test of time and in the early years and through this pandemic. And I always hear my father in his words and the stories that he often tells. And one story in particular that really resonates with me during this time is my dad was growing up, he was in high school, and he had a date. And he went up to my grandfather and he said, "Hey, Dad, can I borrow the car to take the girl on a date?" And so my grandfather pulled out the keys and threw the keys on the ground right in front of my dad. And he was kind of telling my dad something funny there. And my dad got down on one knee, picked up the keys in embarrassment, and said, "Dad, can I borrow $20 to take this girl out on a movie to eat into a movie?" And my grandfather grabbed my dad and said, "Mijito, follow me." And he walked out to the back of the house and he opened up the back door and he said, "Son, what do you see?" My dad looked around and he says, "I don't see anything, Dad." And then he said, "Look again." He says, "Well, I see some grass and I see a kind of an old junk car in the back over there. I don't really understand the point that you're trying to make." My grandfather looked at him and said, "Son, what I see is a yard that could be mowed and a car that could be sold for scrap metal. See, what you see as junk or nothing, I see as opportunity." And that story has always resonated. And in the world of NHI is that we see opportunities and assets and opportunities in what is presented to us. And I understand that this pandemic is very stressful. A lot of us have been impacted, but through tough times, it shapes people and it shapes entire generations. And so the question to you is, during this pandemic, the normal that we know may never be there again, is how will it shape you in future generations, and how in your leadership role in shaping our community can move us in a direction that we are prosperous and thriving. And so I often ask the question to young people is, how has this pandemic changed you? For the better, for the worse? And maybe that's not even answered yet. But the real challenge is, what are you going to do with it? Because here at NHI, we believe wholeheartedly in the core of our work that you all have the capacity to shape entire communities. This organization is yours. And this programs, these GDX, these debates, the LDZ next year, the CWS after that, are all the playground for you to broaden your network, to develop your skill sets, and be ready to take on these key global leadership roles in the future. So we're about building leaders and shaping communities. And this GDX program for the next 3 days is for you, your playground to hone your skills. So regardless of the outcome of the first debate or the second, your job is, how do you take from this and learn, and how do I grow? How do you learn to prosper and thrive even in this type of environment? Because when we go back to normal, it's going to be up to you with this newfound skill set to really move things forward and really move our communities forward. So I want to thank you for your commitment before this program and for the next couple of days. And I look forward to watching your success here in the GDX program. And we welcome you to the NHI family. So moving on to the tournament, there's an important individual, and I'm going to give him the opportunity to say just a few words and introduce his team. And then we're going to take a break. Then I'm going to walk you through an orientation how this debate program is going to unfold. But this individual is currently serving as a JFL John F. Lopez intern this summer at NHI here in Maxwell. And that the image behind me is the mansion here at NHI, because in 1985, my father believed in building an institute for you. And so we sit over here on about 50 acres, and this is our office over here that we use. But he is serving over here as an intern, started with NHI in 2017 in the Texas Star Great Debate, and ever since has participated in every summer and continuously returns to staff in numerous roles, and has gone through all of our programs, originally from San Antonio and currently attending the University of North Texas, UNT, home of the Mean Green. He's going to be a junior, currently double majoring in political science and psychology, and with the minor in Spanish, and is excited to see all the regions compete and see all you all have fun. Ladies and gentlemen, your tournament director for the 2021 GDX2 program, Mr. Jareth Quintoro Opatowski. Jareth?
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for introducing me, Chris. So here's some remarks I have for all of you. For me, the great debate was an inspiring moment for my leadership for my leadership journey. I say this with pride because it inspired me to be more confident in what I was saying, as well as have a better understanding of my community and of those around me. It led me to have a love of service, public speaking, and dedication to helping my community and those around it. And I hope it's the same for you after you complete this program. For all of you present here today, y'all should be proud of yourself and of each other. And that's simply because each of you have been working so hard for the past months, and today is your time to shine and show how your hard work is going to unravel. Today is your time to shine. I want to give a special shout out to my tournament staff, my assistant tournament director, Karina Martinez from the Midwest, my director of judges, Fatima Ortega Barba from the Midwest region as well, my assistant director of judges, and as well as the oratory category director, Guadalupe Torres from the Austin region, and also the CX category director, Lauren Potter from the Corpus Christi region, the team trials category director, Joseph Seuss from the Houston region, and the XSTEM category director, Michaela from the Tip of Texas region. And as well, another shout out to my JFLs and the judges who will be judging you throughout this program. This is a regional representation from the East Coast, Houston, Corpus Christi, Austin, the Tip of Texas, Midwest, and Mathis. And once again, I'm very excited to see all of you compete. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jareth. For those, Jareth is an absolute rock star. He's been working diligently to work with all of our regions to get their rosters. He assisted in support staff for the previous GDX program, provided training to all of our judges, organizing his team, preparing the brackets, and is going to run a smooth tournament for you all. So Jared, thank you, and all the tournament staff and volunteers. It's 9:30 right now. We're going to take just about a 5-minute break. All right, so I'm going to ask my production to put on some music. So if you need to get some water, and then we're going to come back and we're going to dive into an overview of how this GDX tournament is going to unfold. All right, so in about 5 minutes, I'll make an announcement in Discord. So stay on, get some water, you stretch your legs, and then we'll come back and we'll get started. And then we're going to dismiss you all to work with your home regions to begin the preparation for the rounds beginning at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So production, if you could just give us some music, and we'll be back on in 5 minutes. All right, I wanted to welcome everybody back. If you can come on back in here, turn on your cameras, please, just so I can see your faces. Great, great. So I am looking forward to you all. Hey, Luis, it's always great to see you. I'm looking forward to you all going through your competition, and I'm sure you've got lots of questions. So what my goal here is to provide you all just a quick overview of what the tournament, how it's going to unfold for you all. All right, so if you are not in Discord, okay, I want to stress the importance of being inside of Discord. And Discord is just a communication platform that we can provide you all updates, give you the opportunity to ask us questions. If you're needing help or support or anything like that, you can reach out. I will be serving as your educational director, and I'm always happy if you reach out directly to me and say, hey, can you give me some feedback? Can you help me work on something? Can you listen to my speech? That is my role here, is to serve you in that capacity. Okay, so don't be afraid to reach out to me and say, give me some insight, give me some feedback. But what I wanted to make sure is that in your Zoom settings here, that when you change your nickname or change your name, to add your event category. All right, so if you haven't done that, please do that. And if you are a judge, then add a judge in there as well, because we are going to be putting you in Zoom rooms, and that helps our Zoom managers know to place you in the correct competition room. Okay, so next I'm going to share my a Google site. I'm going to share my screen really quickly with you all, and we're going to walk through what this is going to look like for you all. Okay, make sure I'm here. So can you give me a thumbs up? Everybody can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up over there just so that I know. Perfect. Okay, great. This is going to be your Discord server. All right. And if you have not added, so we've got those marked in green are our judges, those that are marked as participants. If you have not added your event name, what you want to do is you want to right click and then change your nickname in there to add your event. Why do we do that? Because we code and tag you so that you can get important updates based on your event. Okay, because not everybody needs to hear something about Extemp, and so we can post in there, or if you've got general questions with yours. So I see Alondra over here. So Alondra, you would want to right click on your name and then change your nickname so that you can add your name and your event in there so that we can tag you in your particular group. We will make announcements in here, so you'll see a notification that will come up with a little red icon. That means that that is something being sent out to everybody or just participants. We'll make general announcements here when things are opening up. The tournament director will make tournament updates in this section here. So if the brackets have been updated, they will make updates in here and you'll get a notification. I will publish day 2 and day 3. So you will have a general idea of what the day schedules are going to look like. All your Zoom links, if you're curious on where to go find these, are in this section right here. So team trial, cross-examination, and oratory. When your event begins, you will go to this Zoom link, and for Extemp, you will go into your own Zoom link here. All right. So there, these will be on the designated time, so you don't need to go there now for those, but you will go into your Zoom links based on your category. For team trials, CX, or oratory, you will be placed into a breakout room with your opponent and your judge. Extemp draw, you will always go before your competition. You will be given your question to prepare and then placed in a breakout room with your opponent and your judge, but you'll need to go to your Zoom link. This will be the main Zoom link that we have any general assembly, you'll come in here. If you need support, tech support, if you're not able to get in or you're not seeing your region your event over here popping up, that you want to post in there, I'm not seeing my event, so that we could tag you. If you need general support, then you come in here and type under general support, okay? And then when it comes to competition, if you have not received your ballot, and I'll go through that here in just a bit, you want to write in here your name and your email so that the tournament staff can email you your ballot. A link will be provided for you all to the brackets. You'll have the tournament resources will be available for this Google site, and then again, your categories. So this is an important, Discord is an important tool to communicate and get real-time information. If you've got immediate needs, this is the place. And I'm always sitting up in the upper right-hand corner up here, and you can always message me directly, and I will respond to if you need some support in any capacity. The GDX program has its own site, and here you will find your brackets. So you'll find what time you're competing, who your opponent is, and who your judge. The tournament staff will publish in here the Zoom links available for you. If you are competing in team trial or cross-examination, you want to go to this site to submit your evidence. Okay, so you want to submit your evidence for cross-examination and team trial. And then during competition, and as an example, let's say that Austin and Philippine want to see the evidence of Anne and Diego, that you want to click on this section right here, and it's going to take you to the page, and it's going to provide a listing of all of the evidence that has been submitted by event. I do want to make a special note that if you've submitted a Google Doc, to make sure that your evidence is viewable to anyone. Viewable only, not editable, but viewable, okay? Because I've already received some links from people that they need to be open. So it's important that before we leave here, that you go and you change your privileges for people to share, that anybody who has that link can view it. And again, team trial, you want to click here and go directly into team trial, and you'll find your opponent's information. And as a reminder, make sure that you have it available for anybody to see, to access. Okay, so this right here will be available for you all. The brackets will be available, and they're going to look like this. You'll find your opponent, the start round, and I do want to make a special note for Extemp. And I'm going to have the tournament staff put in here. You are supposed to go in at a certain time at 1:55, I believe. You are going to start your Extemp draw. That means that you go in to the Zoom link. The Zoom link manager will provide you the question, and you'll have exactly 40 minutes to work on your presentation, and then your debate will start at 2:45. So we'll make sure that we make those announcements both in the Extemp channel and in the tournament channel, is that you all know what time the Extemp draw means. And again, Extemp draw means that you go in, that you look at, you receive the question, and you've got 40 minutes to prepare. This is will be your debate start time, and you want to go into this Zoom link. For cross-examination and team trial, I want to encourage you to take a look at who your opponent is and go look at that evidence and allow you to prepare, okay? If it's not in there, that means that they may not have submitted. So any of the head coaches that are on here, make sure that your team members submit their evidence. And if not, then at the very beginning of the competition, there will also be an exchange of evidence if you did not submit that before. Generally, it is the responsibility of cross-examination and team trial to review evidence beforehand before they go into competition. So as a reminder here, we will make announcements when there are any updates, general announcements. So how are the ballots going to work? All of the judges are given Google Forms. They'll request your emails at the very beginning of competition. Once they go in through the round and they score it, they will score it and they will email you the results. If you did not receive your email results, then come into ballots and request that you have not seen that. And then one of our tournament staff members will provide you that information. Okay, I'm going to use this opportunity now to answer any questions that you all might have about the tournament, because what we're going to do now is release you to go back and work with your home regions. You've got a couple of things that you need to do. Submit your evidence for team trial and cross-examination. I'll make sure that our tournament staff has that bracket updated, and when there are particular announcements, then we'll publish that in there. In that bracket, you'll see a tab, round 1, round 2, or round 3 and 4. There was a question here. Yes, let me publish the Discord link for you as well for that request. If you're not inside Discord, that is the link right there to join that. And again, as you come in, make sure that you put your first and last name in there in your event category so that we can tag you to your appropriate group. Today, this afternoon, you will compete in 2 rounds, rounds 1 and 2. So for example, cross-ex and oratory, you'll be competing at 2 o'clock, and then you will compete probably again at around maybe 3:45 or 4 o'clock will be your next round. So you've got a break in between. If you're not happy with what you put together, go back and refine it. If you want to, if you've got a PowerPoint presentation or a video, you have every opportunity to improve it and have it ready for competition. Okay, so if you feel like there are some holes that you learned in your first debate, then refine it and have a better one for number 2. Tomorrow morning, we'll open up with the General Assembly, and then you'll compete in rounds 3 and 4 tomorrow morning. What are we going to do with these 4 rounds? Well, we take your performance and we rank the top seed to the lowest seed, and we publish you in a single elimination debate round starting in the afternoon or late morning on day 3. And everyone in here has the opportunity to compete in the finals. So regardless of your competition that you felt like in round 1 or 2, you have every opportunity to compete in the finals through your efforts and the work that you put in for this 3rd day. On day 3, tomorrow afternoon, you all will be introduced to a new event called Athenium. You'll be matched up with students from different regions, and you will form a presentation and compete amongst your peers. So this is the GDX program. We'll publish the schedule, any updates. We'll make sure that the brackets are updated in there. If you have any questions, can you unmute or type them in in the chat section? And I'm happy to answer your questions before we dismiss you. All right, so at this time, if you can stay active in Discord, if you're on a computer, then I encourage you to keep a tab open with Discord. If you've got a cell phone as well, I've got Discord on my cell phone, so I can use that as a tool as well that I get announcements. And feel free, you just get in there and navigate. If you're not in there, message me. You can email me at cnieto@nhiml.com, and I can get you a link. Communicate with your project administrators and your head coaches, and then we will update the brackets with times, Zoom links. So now you have the opportunity to go meet with your home region, meet with your project administrators, your team, your head coaches, and begin to prepare. Make sure that you drink lots of water, make sure that you eat during lunch, and extemp draw. I believe that you will be asked to go into your extemp draw room on that Zoom link over there at 1:45 to begin that process there. Okay, so be looking out for that Zoom link and those announcements. And I want to wish everybody good luck today. Rounds 1 and 2 this afternoon. We'll come back for a General Assembly, say goodbye for the evening, and then we'll start again tomorrow. Good luck, everybody. And you can stop the